Here in Nashville, Tennessee, we're at the NRA annual meetings. Senator Ted Cruz, good to see you, sir.
Cameron, it's always good to be with you.
You just talked to the assembled crowd. When you look at that audience, what do you see?
I got to tell you, the energy here at the NRA National Convention is electric. There are men and women who are passionate, who are ready to stand up and fight for this country. I think they recognize that America's in crisis, that we can't keep going down the path we're on. We got to get back to the free market principles and the constitutional liberties that America was built on. And I am leaving this convention inspired because these are freedom fighters willing to stand up and fight to preserve America, and that's what it's going to take.
What does the Second Amendment mean to you?
You know, the Second Amendment protects our fundamental liberty. I mean, a lot of people focus on hunting, on target shooting. All of that's important. It's wonderful. It's great fun to be with your kids, to go hunting, to go skeet shooting. But at the end of the day, the Second Amendment is about something a lot more important than that. The Second Amendment is about the fundamental right of every American to protect your home and your family and your life. And it is also, by design, a check on government tyranny. This is about liberty at the end of the day, and that's what we need to stand up and protect.
You've announced that you're running for president. Let's say right now you are President Cruz. What would you do about Iran?
We need to do everything necessary to stop Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. This deal President Obama has negotiated is a very, very bad deal. I agree with Prime Minister Netanyahu. It is an historic mistake. I've introduced legislation in the Senate that would immediately reimpose sanctions on Iran, that would strengthen the sanctions to make them even more crippling, and then that would lay out a clear path for Iran to lift the sanctions. Number one, they must disassemble all 19,000 centrifuges. Number two, they must hand over all of their enriched uranium. Number three, they must cease their ICBM program, which I would note exists for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to carry a nuclear weapon to the United States of America. And number four, they would have to cease being the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism. That's actually how a strong commander-in-chief would approach this. When you're dealing with bullies and tyrants, when you're dealing with a theocratic zealot like the Ayatollah Khamenei, we need a lot more stick and a lot less carrot. And I can tell you, if I am elected in January 2017, the commander-in-chief will make clear to Iran in no uncertain terms that either they will cease pursuing nuclear weapons or we will stop them.
Senator, I know you have to go real quick. Last question. Can and will we fix our relationship with Israel?
Absolutely, yes. It is critically important. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of the Obama-Clinton foreign policy is the antagonism, the hostility. We have never seen hostility from an administration the way this administration has had to the nation of Israel. The time I've been in the Senate, I've traveled to Israel 3 times and have worked to be the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate because Israel stands with us. They share our values. That friendship and alliance needs to be made stronger. And I'll tell you, that can change quickly. As bad as things are now, it's worth remembering back to 1980. 1980, there was another president, Jimmy Carter, just like Barack Obama, who had abandoned our friends and allies, who had coddled our enemies. And yet, things changed like that. When Ronald Wilson Reagan entered the White House, Iran released our hostages the day he was sworn in. We can turn things around and rebuild the friendship with Israel with a new president that stands with our allies instead of antagonizing and attacking them, and with a new president that is prepared to stand up and protect this nation from enemies that would seek to murder Americans.
Senator, your time is very valuable. I really, really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the campaign. Thanks for your time here on NRA News.
Thank you, Cameron, and God bless you. And I'll say again to the NRA, thank you for the enormous support. The 2 weeks since we've launched the campaign, we have seen men and women all across the country come to our website, tedcruz.org, sign up, volunteer, contribute, and I am so uplifted because we're seeing millions of courageous conservatives that want to get back to the principles that made America strong.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.